Hello everyone. So in this lecture series, I'm just going to explain you about blades in Laravel. So in the previous session, we have already seen the employee controller, that is EMP controller shown in the screen, and then the index method is been called. This index method is represented by named route, that is emp.index. So over here we had also created an array which has been passed using compact method to our view, and the view which has been created in resources folder and in the view folder, the view that is blade file is been created. So we have also used Bulma over here, and one more thing, we have also used hero as an layout. Fine. So to display it on a correct and effective position, we have also displayed all the information that is stored in the EMP, that is EMP name, salary, experience and description. Fine. All these informations are being printed in the view itself in an effective manner. So if we do not want to use EMP compact method, you can also use this method, that is you can define it in an array. So with this structure you can now change the variable name. So wait a second, but let's display the same output is being displayed or not. Yes, the output remains the same. Over here you can see either you can use compact method or you can pass a variable with an array format, that is associative array. You can also change the name of the variable over here. Fine. So $emp is now represented by employee and it blows out. Why? Because in view section we have established a relation of EMP and not employee. So I'm just going to select all these aspects and type it once again, that is instead of $emp I'm just going to place employee. Fine. And now let's see if it works or not. Okay, and it shouldn't blow up. So right, everything is working fine and fantastic. So if you want different name from the view to be passed, you have to use array method rather than a compact method. Fine. I mean array, you have to use array rather than a compact method. So now we are going to create a new blade file, that is layout.blade. What if I do not want to type HTML format every time? Over here you can see that HTML is being printed every time. So I want to create a layout for all the files that I want to display in a single location. So with this concept, I'm just going to type the overall format, that is layout format, and type a yield content. Fine. With this I do not need to make any of the HTML format. Also just have to type whatever is necessary in my blade file. So connecting the layout file with my employee info blade file, let's connect it. So I'm just going to extend layout and also prepare for a section. So over here I'm just typing start section, end section, and the section name is important. Whatever I have given it in the yield section, that is content, I'm just providing the same name in the blade file. That is, the section is going to, this section is going to yield by over here. That means the entire code is going to be replaced. This is yield content is going to replace by section. Fine. So let's refresh the output and see the output. You can see the output remains the same. Fine. And also you can see over here that title is something that we also wanted from page to page to change it. So how can we do that? So every page has their own title, might be. So I'm just going to type a section for it, and let me give the name of the section, that is title, and over here I'm just typing employee info. Let's see if it works or not. Okay, so over here I'm just going to yield the entire content for section. Okay, so step by step I'm creating a yield and title for it. Okay, right, yield spelling is wrong. Let me convert it. Okay, so let me type it in a correct manner, YIELD. So now I'm just going to refresh it, and my employees info is getting displayed. What if in any case I do not write any of the section? What will be the output? Let's refresh it. So you can see the localhost colon 8000 is being displayed on the title, but I do not want that. I want the project name to be displayed rather than whatever the page has been opened. So how can I do that? So I have to specify a default value to the yield. If nothing is getting provided, you can write your project name or any other name that you like. Over here, I'm just going to type ERP system. Let's see, and save it. Okay, so with this title, everything works fine. I'm going to refresh it, and let's see, ERP system is now developed and working. Voila, great. So this is the power of entire thing. What if I provide the section value? Yes, at this juncture, if I refresh, the ERP system is getting overwrite by employee info because I have provided some value to the title. ERP system is the default value. If nothing gets printed or provided, it should print that. I'm going to move this entire layout file into the template directory, right? Moving the entire layout file into the template directory. So you can see that employee layout file is now inside the template folder, fine. And now if I just go to the screen, fine, and then let me go to the screen first, just a second. Fine, if I go to the screen, let's see what happens. Okay, it blows out. Fine, it is because layout is not found. It is because the layout which it is trying to get is not in the same directory. It is in the template directory. So with this thing, now if I refresh it, it works. Fine. So this is the minor change that we will have to work with. What about other stuffs? Say for example, I want to do a lot of things. Say for example, I want to work with many of the stuffs that is working with an array. So let's define one more array, that is department. Fine, and this department actually has some values in it. Say for example, accounting department, say for example, salary department, say for example, sales department, everything is such, right? So how I'm going to HR department, right? So how I'm going to work with this thing? I'm just going to do it in a normal way. I'm just going to do it in a normal way, and that is simple. Let's see. I'm just going to place it over here in the section view section. Going to say $DEPT, save it, and then going to press enter and type H1 or H2 tag, whatever you like. Let's go with H2 tag. Just going to type department H2, and over here in this section I'm just going to refresh it to show it to you all people. But before that, let me show you the Laravel blade templates. And these Laravel blade templates is having Foreach, Forelse and while loop to be shown over here. Even for loop is also there in the blade file, right? So how are we going to work with all these things? Let's see that. With this thing, I'm just going to type use for each method, and then I'll be converting it to for else method. So both the methods are in-depthly correct. So I would recommend for else method rather than for each, but depends on the application to application. So I'm just going to type $department as $D and for each. over here I'm just going to type p tag, no, not p tag, let's take ul tag, right? And just a second, okay, ul tag, and then inside that li tag, and inside this li tag I'm just going to print all the values. For that I'm just going to type $dpt as $d, and over here I'm just going to type end Foreach, and over here I'm just printing $d. Pretty much interesting. So all the values from DEPT will be step by step invoked into or are getting into $d, and $d will be printing step by step into the system. So let's print it out and see. Yes, it's now working. So over here you can see all the values that are stayed in the department are now printed in the using Foreach method. What if DEPT value is not present over there? So over here you can see that I have created an empty empty string that is shown in the Laravel website. I'm just going to follow all the syntax that has been displayed. So I'm using, instead of Foreach, I'm using Forelse method. So over here empty shows no department found. So if there is no department, it should give me a message that is Forelse. You can see empty is only there, end empty is not there. So I'm just going to follow all the instructions that have been shown on the Laravel website. Let's see and hope for the best. I'm just starting @Forelse and ending with end Forelse. Also, I'm just going to display all this thing in a list, li list. So I just missed out slash over here and completing it in the single line. Okay. So let's refresh it out. You can see that no department found is not printed because the list is not empty. Now let's empty up the list entirely. Fine. So let's refresh it out. Just a second, I might have missed something. Yes, I'm just emptying the entire array that is shown over here and placing all the department values, empty department values into it, and we found that the value no department found has been displayed. Fine. So with this thing, I'm just completing @Foreach and @Forelse. You can also go with if condition if you like it. If condition is nothing but if else are the conditional statements. If you want it to be passed in the blade itself and want some conditional statements to be checked, just like shown in the Laravel documentation, then you can also use @if, @elsif, @else, and endif. Fine. So you have to maintain all these things. You can also use for loop and while loop as shown in the screen. Fine. All these things are feasible and working. So with this thing, say for example, I want to use the same thing, but I'm just going to use EMP and DEPT. This will blow up, I'm pretty much sure. Why? Because over there I have used employee variable, and over here I am using EMP. So with this thing, I'm just going to type over here employee. Fine. And over here too, I need to type employee so as to match the view and the variable in the controller, because employee variable is already there in the view. I'm just picking up the same variable over here in the compact method, and now it won't blow up. Fine. I need to also place all the values once again back to the track. So let me type it once again. I should have copied it in the first extensions before I had deleted it. But anyways, let's type it out. So sales is, I'm just going to type sales department, HR department, account department, and then save it, run it, and everything is working fine. So this is nothing but Laravel. Fine. Thank you all. Thank you for watching this channel. The wallpaper has been picked up from Pixabay. Do like, share, and subscribe my channel. Do comment too. Fine. Thank you. Bye bye.